Today, I'm here to explain about this question. Evaluate the following limits. Let's start with number 1. So in the question of limits, what you have to try first is just plug in the x value. I mean this one, 0. But you will have problem if you plug in 0 into x, because denominator is going to be 0. 0 squared plus 3 times 0 is going to be 0. So this is not a good idea. So what you have to do next is try to find something else. There is a hint in the function. For example, if it says sine 2x, I want you to come up with the equation, which is limit as x approaches 0, sine x over x is going to be 1. Probably this would be useful. You need to know this equation, otherwise I don't think you can solve this question. So this is really important equation, okay? So probably it looks like you can use this one, even though the function is a little bit different. But let me try. So somehow what you have to do is to create like this, sine x over x. So let me just change this function into let me factor it, x times x plus 3. Now it looks a little bit similar, don't you think so? Which is limit as x approaches 0, sine x over x times 1 over x plus 3. It looks similar with this one, isn't it? So, and this is going to be 1. And now you can plug in 0 into here, because it cannot be denominator won't be 0, so you can just plug in 0 into x. So it's going to be 1 times 0 plus 3, 1 over 0 plus 3, which is 1 over 3, which is 1 over 3. That's it. Okay, then let's work on one more question, maybe 2 more questions. So this one looks a little bit tricky, but like I mentioned, you can just plug in 0, but it seems like you can use this equation. So let me use it. So let me change the form of this one, like sine 2x over x times sine 2x over x times sine 2x over x, because this one is sine 2x cube, so you can just separate like this, and this one is cube as well. Yeah, but you have to be careful. You can't solve it right now, because these value have to correspond, have to be the same number, but the upper part is 2x, but lower part is x. So you have to put 2. You have to somehow put 2x as well. 3, 2. Let me see. Like it has to be like, oops, sorry, like this. But you can't simply just add 2 here. This means you multiplied 1 over 2. So it has to be cancelled out. So you have to multiply 2 squared as well. You know what I mean? Yeah, for example, if it's just 1 over 2, you can just simply 1 over 2. It's going to be change the value of this one. So what you can do is, you can do like this. You can do multiply 2 over 2, because which is 1. It doesn't affect the value of this one. So I did the same thing here. I multiply 2 squared over 2 squared. Then I distribute these 2 into here. Then it will work. Okay. Then this one is going to be 1. I mean, these are going to be 1. So 1 times 1 times 1 times 2 cube, which is 8. If you have any like any comments or any questions, just leave the comment, please. Yeah, thanks. And let's work on one more question. Oops, sorry, I just did a hint here. Let's work on this one. Yeah, probably when I see you, when you see this question for the first time, you might get confused because there's no sign here. So for now, it looks like you can't solve it. But what you have to do is somehow to create the sign. Probably you can use this one again. So let me try to create a sign. So to create a sign, you need to know some functions. I'm sorry, some equations, like, you know, this one. This one is really important in trigonometric function. And also there are 3 of them. One of them is this one, and next one is this one, and there's one more. Yeah, these three are important, but this time I'm going to use only this one. Let me change the form of this one a little bit. It's going to be 1 negative cosine squared x is going to be sine x squared. You don't think? Do you see the difference between this one, this one? Yeah, let me create this function just by multiplying 1 plus cosine x over 1 plus cosine x. Like I mentioned, you can just simply multiply 1 plus cosine x, but if it's both sides, top and the bottom, you can just multiply it. And yeah, it's going to be x times 1 plus cosine x, and 1 negative cosine x squared. And now we can change this as this one. Limit x as x approaches 0, sine x squared, and x times 1 plus cosine x, 1 over 1 plus cosine x. Then it's still a little bit different from this one, so let me try to change it. Sine x over x times, so I just move 1 sine x into here, sine x over 1 plus cosine x. Then this one is going to be 1, and now you can plug in 0 into all x here. 1 plus cosine 0 is 1, and sine 0 is 0, so it's going to be 1 times 0 over 2, which is 0. That's all. Like I said, you cannot have any 0 in denominator. I mean, something divided by 0 cannot be calculated in the mathematics, but 0 divided by something would be okay. That's all.